My name is Sophie Stevenson. I'm in 11th grade and I go to Coral Shores High School in Tavernier, Florida. I needed to take the SAT soon and I'm kind of hopeless at creating study schedules for myself and sticking to them. So we thought it would be better to go with tutoring for my math because the colleges I wanted to get into were looking for higher scores. And when I saw the ranges, it was like 1300 to 1500. I was like, wow, that's really high. So I thought I might need a little bit of extra help to just keep me focused. And I didn't really know the test setup and how like the test worked. I was kind of confused by the adaptive system, but then after doing the practice tests and stuff with the tutoring, it was a little more clear on how that worked. And the questions, the way the questions were set up, it helped to go through all the questions and the homeworks and the practices so that I know what they're asking, even if the wording is weird. I don't really know what I was expecting, but I was kind of nervous coming in. When I was doing the virtual learning in school, it was like 20 kids, 30 kids, and one teacher. So I think that the tutoring was definitely better, that it was usually in my groups, it was like 6 to 8 people. And so it was much more focused on each individual person and more easily able to help each individual person in a good amount of time. I feel like it was more accessible. I live in the Keys, so I think you're based out of Miami, and it would have been a little bit tedious to have to drive an hour to
Yeah,
get to tutoring. Um, and it was also kind of cool to just have people in there from different areas of Florida, mostly from Florida. Um, so yeah, I liked the accessibility aspect of virtual learning,
hmm
virtual tutoring. I feel like they should know that 10 weeks is gonna feel like forever, but at the same time, not very long. If you ask for 2 to 3 hours of homework, you're gonna get 2 to 3 hours of homework. I liked that they just kept up with me in the group chats, that they made sure I finished everything, and they kind of just encouraged me in there too and helped me whenever I asked for it.
I think it was great. I think there was great communication. Definitely challenge the students, which is what you need if you're going to take it to that high level where you want to take your SAT scores as high as you can. And it was, at least in our situation, it was pretty hands off. You guys were definitely following up a lot to make sure that the students were working and doing what they needed to do.
As the program went on, I realized how many, like, I would count how many questions were in each assignment, and usually there were about 11 to 16 assignments. So I would see what my plan was for the week, like if I had to work or if I had to, some, like to go out of town. I would make sure I did most of the homework on the days that I wasn't working or the days that I was at home and just not doing anything, which was the best over the summer because I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't at school. So my final overall score on the SAT was a 1530, and on the math section, I got a 790. On my PSAT last year in 10th grade, I got a 660 out of, I think, 720, or no, it was 760. And then, so I increased from a 660 on the PSAT to a 790 on the SAT. I don't have to worry about it anymore. I think 1530 is a good enough score that I don't have to worry about doing my required one in the spring because my school requires that we take one in the spring of our junior year. And I'm looking to do dual enrollment this year, and usually they make you do this whole other test to see if you can take dual enrollment, like if you're eligible. But they also accept the SAT. So since I took the SAT, I could just submit that instead of having to do per testing, and I can start next semester now.
We're very proud of Sophie, very proud of her diligence and the way that she was able to stick to the schedule. We're very very pleased with how everything that you said that was going to be provided was provided. So not only did you help her with the improvement in the score, but also with that time management piece and that study element. I thought that you were spot on with everything that you said you were going to provide. I think it's worth every penny. Anybody who has the budget to do it, do it. I think it's absolutely 100% recommended. And uh, like Phil said before, and like Sophie said, you all were great throughout the process. Communication was excellent, and very pleased, very pleased.
Well, if you're gonna do this tutoring, don't procrastinate on the homework because it is kind of terrible to have to do 5 assignments the day before your meeting, and it makes you like unfocused.